therapy, it was a manipulative move.
Wow.
On your part.
On my part.
Wow.
Because I wanted to show or indicate, save face that,
wow,
I'm working on myself. But when...
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Collect Collective. It means so much to me that you've decided to click on this video, and it also means a lot to me that you will be watching till the very end. If you are new, then I do hope that you are in fact here to stay and you will be subscribing to this channel as well. Now let's get down to business. I've changed up things a little bit by being outside. I'm hoping that technically we will have a very smooth video when it comes to the noise, because I am in my home and I do have neighbors. All right, so that's one. Two, I just wanted a change of scenery, especially because of what I will be doing today. By the title alone, you'll see where I'm going to be reviewing Yendi Phillips' series Odyssey with Yendi, Untold Journeys, and I think I want to be in a different space to receive this content. You know what I mean? So without further ado, I am Jamaican, and if you too are Jamaican, then you most likely know who Yendi Phillips is. Besides her being stunning and vibrant and full of effervescence, she's Miss Universe first runner-up, and previously she was Miss Jamaica World and I believe Miss Jamaica Universe. She's done a lot of things in the media, in entertainment. She was hosting Smile Jamaica for a very long time, and I have to say that I enjoy Yendi. I've met her a couple times. I don't think she'd remember me, but what I can say is that she is just as vibrant and full of life and joy in person as she seems to be through her social media, which I'll also be sharing, and that is what led me to become interested in her content, Odyssey with Yendi. I also am interested in her because growing up, right, and not to call Yendi old, she's very much in her youth. She just happened to accomplish a lot in her youth as well. But growing up, I do remember that there's a lot that she had to go through, especially when it comes to the court of public opinion. I'm not going to go through that in detail. However, I am always intrigued and curious about people who have experienced very unpleasant things, especially things that people have said about them, yet they have maintained their stride, and they've kept their vision, and they've focused on their goal, and they came out even better than ever. And besides Yendi being just this beautiful person inside and out, I am interested in not only her story but the stories that her guests share with her, which brings me to Rushcam, otherwise known as Rushcam, and I know it's the other way around, but I was introduced to him as Rushcam via YouTube. So prior to starting this YouTube channel, there's a lot of foreign content on YouTube that I would consume, and so having started, I became very interested in checking out Jamaican YouTubers and Jamaican content creators, and I have to say I'm so happy that I did. They are just the best. There's something about Jamaicans that simply set them up.
Right.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. Oh God, this is nice. My security just brought a sweet stuff for me. It's so nice. Anyways, what was I saying? There is a market here in Jamaica, a lot of content creators on YouTube, and they're doing extraordinarily well, and I decided to check a few out. I came across Rushcam, and I watched a couple of his videos, and I just have to say how much I thoroughly enjoy him, not only because of his sense of humor, because he's remarkably funny, but there is a sense of sincerity and kindness, self-awareness, emotional intelligence that he manages to translate through his content. And I suppose that's a testament to his transparency, right? And for that, I became interested in him, and I kept watching more and more of his videos, and I saw that Yendi interviewed him. And not only that, and I haven't watched all of his videos as yet, but I have learned that he was a lawyer in the past, and I suppose he left that career to pursue digital marketing. He's now a content creator full-time, I believe, amongst other business endeavors. And once again, that just intrigues me, how it is that one moves from law, even though they're both within the arts, one moves from law to pursue content creation or digital marketing. How it is that you were able to muster up the courage and enough passion and motivation to move from one area to a completely different area. I'm interested in learning more about him. I'm interested in learning overall. I know that Yendi is someone who is constantly working on herself, or that is what I presume based on her social media. Yes, I know, disclaimer, I don't know these people in real life. I don't know what their lives are like. However, based on what I've identified through what they put out, I am willing to speculate that there's a lot of work that she's put into character building and cultivating her mind. And these two put together, I'm sure, have made a very beautiful video. Let's go. So I'm about to start it, and I would very much like to watch the intro. I think she changed up a few things. So let's see what Yendi has done.
Life, we all encounter ebbs and flows, many highs and lows.
Yendi, if you ever get across this video,
Odyssey with Yendi, beauty in the ashes.
Alright, so first of all, Yendi, if you ever get across this video, I just want to let you know that your set is beautiful. Whomever did your set, kudos to them. Whomever contributed, whomever put forth the ideas to do the teal and the turquoise and the greenery and the trees in the background, I am feeling every single thing that they meant to translate, and it just looked like that set here smell good. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's continue.
Rushcam, or should I say Rushcam?
Rushcam. If we're on the ground, is Rushcam.
Well,
yeah,
we're keeping it level today. So this is not like a personality or a this or this is Rushcam and Yendi. Not
yeah,
true?
yeah.
Why do we always do that?
We always do that.
Synchronize.
Yes.
So they must have a very good relationship.
I feel like there is
that always happens.
So much about you and to you that we see and we know because you're so open, so vulnerable in your YouTube space.
Yes.
But I also feel like there is a lot that we could still dive further into.
Yes.
With your journey.
Multi-layered.
Very multi-layered. I mean, let me just peel this onion back. Well, you don't smell like onion. It smells good. Like you do.
Oh gosh. Yeah, the video here smell good. That video here look like it smell good.
Let's talk a bit about your journey as a lawyer come YouTuber, because somehow when you do that math, it's not really maths.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I was being paid well, I had good clients, my boss was good, everything was perfectly fine in my view, but there's just an inkling, like there was just something in my spirit that was telling me that this was not what I was supposed to be doing. And
side note, lately that has been a reoccurring, I'm just gonna say thing, the right word doesn't come to mind right now, where especially after watching Soul, where people are realizing that their passion isn't necessarily their purpose. Your passion is not your purpose. It's something that I am currently going through, and as someone who is also a creative, it does make me think about what else is inside of me that I haven't tapped into, because I am solely focused on this one thing. What is it that makes me think that this is all that encompasses Colette? And I am just interested to hear what he has to say, and hopefully there's something that I can take away from this. You know what I mean? So let's continue.
It's a faith story. It is really not one of those stories that you can explain with words to say, okay, this, like on paper, this is what was happening. No, it was all a gut feeling. Let's take a leap.
You've decided you're going to take this leap, but only maybe a couple of years before that, you were studying law. You're in Barbados, and you're just like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Why am I even doing this thing called life?
Yeah, called life.
Yeah.
Not called law, called life.
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
I
Side
think
note.
up to the point of when I got to Barbados, that's the first time that I've really had to sit with myself and sit with the circumstances of life. No church family, no mom, no grandfather, nobody as a sort of buffer or cushion. Yendi, at that point, I did not think that I had suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just going to pause only to say that sometimes we see people who appear to be strong, and sometimes they really are strong, especially to have overcome a lot of trauma or whatever circumstance or whatever past events in their lives. And we see them, we admire them, and sometimes we judge them too. Not true. We judge their happiness, we judge their joy, and we have no idea where they're coming from. We have no idea how much they've had to overcome, how much work they've had to do on themselves. And once again, I'm just going to say that I'm thankful for his transparency, and I appreciate you, Yendi, for creating this space where people can be transparent. We can never have too many of these contents, and it's great that other people can know that. Listen, no, because you see people light currently means say them never did in the trenches once upon a time, and this further teaches us to be compassionate and not to immediately assume that we know people and we know their journey. That's all.
Sad out. Sadness and sadness, sad.
No, sad out.
And I realized,
oh gosh,
that
he's hilarious.
In the nights at like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd just be walking in the middle of the road. I'd be like, okay, I'm going for a walk.
Oh my gosh.
I'm walking in the middle of the road, and I'm just like, Father God, please just make a car come let me down.
Oh no.
Please. I'm not gonna harm myself, but I just don't. This is not it.
Oh
and I was doing it
man, that
consistently
makes me very sad
for
to hear.
weeks. One night I was missing. So my mood partner at the time, she's from Trinidad, Kavita. I'll tell her to
Big up
watch it.
Kavita. I don't know you, but you know.
Was calling me to work on a submission. I'm walking, and I just see a black RAV4 coming down the road. And the two of them, they're just like, Rushcam, what are you doing out here? Get in the car. I was like, what do you mean, what am I doing out here? I walk. But they're like, in the middle of the road, sir. Like, come on now.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is not okay.
He was tripping.
And I was like, lots of people don't know that though. And at that time,
See?
I thought that I just didn't have mental fortitude.
Oh my gosh.
But then what is mental fortitude?
I think that part of mental fortitude
That's
is
a good
going
question.
really well.
Good question, Yendi.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Part of it is saying, I identified and I've acknowledged that there's a problem here that needs to be fixed. The difference between you and somebody who is no longer here, could be just the decision to ask for help.
What do you think about the people who think that people who go there are weak and they have given up and they're just, they're selfish?
That's
or
a great question.
Like, what is the thought process?
I've always wanted to know as well.
Because there are lots of people who, even as recently as a few months ago, I was having a conversation with someone and they maintain the position that that's just selfish. People who do that, they're selfish and they're weak, and I'm just like, or they're battling something that you probably can't
And I will admit that in the past, I was of the opinion also that people who commit suicide are selfish. I'm currently working on changing that, and I can only do that through seeking more information and hearing their stories, hearing their point of view, so I can come from a place of compassion rather than judgment. You know what I mean? I think that's a great question.
That's not because you've not had that pattern.
Yeah, and I think people who say that people who do those things are selfish, it's because they probably don't want to unpack all that comes with a suicide. Suicide comes with a lot of different layers.
That's a heavy topic.
It comes with my personal battles, it comes with my personal interaction. But that approach absorbs everybody else.
Yeah.
Playing any part or any role.
Any role. Right. It is actually an indication that somebody has no turning point. There's no turning back. And they don't feel like they can call anybody. They don't feel like they can cry to anybody. They feel like they're alone in this world, and they feel alone to the point where they might as well just not be here.
Where do you think your courage came from to say, I have to choose something else for myself because the informal approach isn't working? You took another step. You got professional support.
I said I would tell you this when we turned on the camera, because I wanted you to hear it for the first time. The reason I went to therapy the first time was because I wanted to convince somebody that I love very much that I was willing to do whatever it took to work on myself.
So it wasn't even for you?
It wasn't for me. It was like,
wow.
I watch Oprah, I watch Super Soul, I watch all of these things, but you know what? I'm going to show you how committed I am to growth. So I'm going to go to therapy. So actually the first...
So, and just quickly, we do that a lot, don't we? Not even just to go to therapy, but we live a lot for others. We study what it is we think will validate us in our peers' eyes or parents' eyes and make us finally worthy of their respect. We take on a job or remain in the job because of what other people will think and how it is, how we think they will see us. We do a lot of living for other people, don't we? And it's ironic that in this case he was trying to live for somebody else. So yes, it's a good step, but he wasn't doing it for all the right reasons, and the most important reason was for him. I love that he acknowledged that.
I did therapy, it was a manipulative move.
Wow.
On your part.
On my part.
Wow.
Because I wanted to show her, save face that I'm working on myself. But when I went, I remember I called every single friend I had and I said, this is the best money I ever spent in my life. Look here, it's the best money I've spent. It never goes how you plan. Like I come and I say, well, Yendi said something that hurt me. So we're going to talk about what Yendi said that hurt me. And within the first 2 minutes, I'm like, Yendi said something that hurt me. Yes, but what about when you were in grade 5 and you had lunch in the canteen? And you're just like, huh? What?
Yes.
And by the time you're done, you realize that the real issue is not even with what Yendi said,
Wow.
And you have a girl
I triggered you.
Said
that's right.
Wow. Wow. So let me just say this real quick. I 100% believe him. I haven't been to therapy yet myself, and I think it's a very important investment, and I pray that one day I will take that step to invest in myself, because me too, we have things to unpack too, right? But I read something on Crystal Tomlinson's page last night that said, I'm gonna paraphrase, your temper isn't, let me paraphrase for, let me look for it. Right, so on Crystal Tomlinson's page, she shares a quote, I believe it's hers since she tagged herself on it. It's not your temper that takes charge of you when you are angry, it's your trauma. And that really hit me very deeply, because being married, being a newly married person, I've been married for a year now, and you come into marriage and you think, say, other person upset you, or they might do something for upset you, and you blame them, and you're not realizing that you are triggered. Their action that really isn't even that deep triggers you because of so many things from your past, your childhood, where just we you still not deal with all now. And so them do something and you make a whole big grand deal out of it, and you don't realize that they are paying for something that your mother had done, or your mother didn't do, or your father didn't do, and that's not fair. And that's why therapy is so important. Anyways, continue. Let's continue.
Trigger, but what is the source?
And most of us are not equipped to get to the source, right? A therapist asks all the right questions. They never tell you what to do, you know?
Do you feel like the work is ever done, or are you constantly having to work on it because
it's a process?
Every now and then something tries to raise its head, and you're like, no, let me put these actions in place, let me put these new practices in place.
The work is never done because I'm still alive. Yeah, no.
Our work, you know, me love you know.
I was like, if I come and listen, Yendi don't say a word, you see?
No knowledge.
No, but you have gone through so many different phases in your life, right? So your Miss Jamaica world phase, your Miss Jamaica universe, your different phases, having a child, motherhood, loss, doing season 1 of a show versus season 2.
Yes.
It's so many different phases, and so if you are constantly evolving, the thing about work, you know, is that it's ongoing or whatever. It's a never-ending process. What's worse than that is when you know that these are the things that you're supposed to be doing to keep the work going, and you actually betray yourself and set up yourself, and you just step right back. So you do.
Pause, because so far, yes, I'm learning so much, but it's also tying in with things that I have read and listened to before. For example, I was listening to the audio for the 4 agreements, and he described, it was the first agreement, being impeccable with your word, and he gave us, the Latin, pick us something. I'll share that with my family. So he mentions the Latin aspect of impeccable, pecca something, which means sin, and meaning without sin. He also went into the religious point of view of sin, and he tried to break down sin if you're not religious, because some people, they hear religion and they hear that Christianity is tied to an idea or a notion, and it turns them off. So he put a different perspective on it, and he shared that sin is going against yourself. It's going against your values and what you believe in. That is what sin is. And I have to say, because I am Christian, and I like that perspective, and I like that it sort of aligns with what he's saying, with what Rasheen is saying right now. I really like it.
Know that if you go to Marcus' house, you know that there's something there that is going to trigger you.
By the way, Marcus, don't call me.
Marcus?
Marcus.
I don't know. Yeah, give you an example. You don't even have a Marcus in there. But
she started.
Stop that. When you go up there now, having done 9 months of work,
that's right.
You go up there. What do you expect to happen?
Undo it. You're going to undo the work.
Because what does self-betrayal look like for people who are like, what is he saying? Self-betrayal looks like what?
I love that. I'm happy for you, Rush. I am.
Sell out yourself.
Wow.
You go against yourself.
Wow.
There are things that...
Sin is going against yourself. Betraying yourself. Me, I go share exactly what the book said about that, and you guys will see how well it aligns.
Self-betrayal is saying yes to somewhere that you do not want to go, and you don't want to go. Where are you going? Self-betrayal is setting yourself on fire to keep somebody warm.
Wow.
That is self-betrayal.
A word, Yendi.
Entire word.
She said it.
No. And I know that my outlook on life is different because I am no longer willing to betray myself for someone else.
And you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna say this down the line. There are going to be people, or there might, who gonna call him selfish. They're gonna call him selfish and disregard all the work that he's done on himself to get to this place, and they're gonna personalize his decisions, make it about them, and say, you know what, yeah, change, yeah, get hype. And that's a whole nother story on how to deal with people like that. You know, sometimes they really are projecting their own insecurities and their own stagnation. Not sure if that's a word, but it's supposed to stem from stagnant. Their own lack of movement and evolution onto you. Sometimes they know that they're also supposed to be doing work on themselves, and they haven't begun that work as yet. And they see your light, and instead of applauding you for going in that direction, them gonna make it a negative thing and call you selfish. I'm just speculating.
What am I doing? Why am I to make you happy or to make you even comfortable? Why must I be uncomfortable?
Facts.
Some people who are selfish, we're not talking about selfish and stay bad.
No.
We're talking about, you know that something is not in your best interest. There
There
are
we
times
go.
when I know that something is not in my best interest now, and it would upset the entire world, and I'm not gonna change my mind.
Let's talk a bit about the discomfort in the transition, because here it is now. You've invested, you've studied, you have title, and I understand the weight that comes with the title in families that are like, the next generation need to do better.
Yeah,
do better.
liar. And you're gonna fit for
So
the
you have
what?
title, and now you're like, so about all those years of studying,
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna not betray myself.
I can't wait
And
to
I'm
hear
going
what he
to
has to say.
follow
I can't wait.
my gut and my spirit and do what I feel is a calling on my life. How that transition
How did you arrive
because
there?
That's uncomfortable, I know that.
I wish me did it.
Uncomfortable it is. My mother said on several occasions, in many different forums, Rushcam has disappointed me.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That hurt me. That hurt me. It hurts.
Rushcam is a disappointment.
Oh my gosh.
Those words
Heavy.
have never left my spirit, mind, heart. I
Wow.
am disappointed.
Wow.
And it's,
Wow.
so that is one. Two, so
I hope I'm not talking too loud. I hope I'm not talking too loud. I hope I'm not talking too much through this, but I just wanted to pinpoint as well that to be impeccable with your word means that you have to understand that your word is magic. This is from the 4 agreements now. Your word is magic, and what the author says is you don't even know, say, your negative words. Are you performing black magic? Sometimes it comes from the people who love you the most too, such as your mother, your wife, your husband. Your words carry so much weight. They are so important. Words manifest the best things and the worst things. And he spoke about this mother who was angry and she was having a tough day. This intelligent, beautiful, kind woman who was having a tough day, and you know, she has a lovely daughter who was jumping on the bed, daughter in our old world, and the daughter is sing, and you know, mommy look at me, and da 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 da, and mommy is having just a harsh day, and she turns to her daughter and say, would you shut up, you have an ugly voice. Long story short, I know this sounds extreme, but the daughter never sang again. She was even afraid to speak because somebody who means so much to her and who she would imagine she means the world to told her that her voice is ugly. And mommy unbeknownst to her, because mommy don't even know what she did doing now, planted that seed in her daughter. And her daughter, her mind being fertile, especially with that seed, allowed it to grow and to bloom, and she never sang again because of that one thing where her mother did say when her mother did go through something. It's not mommy fault, you know. Mommy don't know what she do, and mommy only a project whatever she had go through in that moment. However, it impacted her child throughout her lifetime. And that's what I think about when he said that his mom said he's a disappointment. We don't know where mommy had come from, and we can only imagine the pride also that she felt. My son a liar, right? But I trust that his mom had no clue what she was saying in those moments and the impact. She wanted him to feel guilty, but guilt is probably the least of the impact that it's going to have on his life. Or it had. I don't know if he's healed from it. Probably.
Giving you all the different factors.
Of course.
My grandfather at the same time is saying, let him do what he needs to do.
Big up,
He's
Grandpa.
young, he'll figure it out.
Facts.
Because people thought I left my job because I want another job. No, I don't want another job. I just don't want to do this. I could have.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Gone that route, you know. And
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I had so many different options, and I was like, no.
You were brave for that.
Not
You
for
were
me.
very
But
brave.
I was confused. And I tell people no, don't feel like I knew what I was doing. I just knew who I wanted to be. Being able to share with university students and say, guys, this is what you need to do. Look here, nobody make the devil use you. Don't farm the fool.
You're lying,
Don't make the devil use you, people. No, like all of those things, I knew that is who I was supposed to be.
And do it
If
all.
we're thinking about capacity,
Yeah.
I can go to university right now and decide that I'm gonna study anything. I know that my brain is there.
I like that. I like
It's not
that.
about can. It's about what
You
gets
can
me
do it.
going
You
in the
know it's
morning,
within
what
you.
keeps me going.
Oi. That breezy I try and mash up my life.
Two things, but it's in one. I'm proud of myself. And my grandfather is proud of me.
I'm proud of you too.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely
I'm
proud of you,
myself,
Rashid.
and
I am.
we are hard on ourselves, you know. I am
Yes.
hard on myself. We can't
You're
do
our
nothing
biggest
good.
critics.
You know why you say we?
Yeah,
You know why you
we
say
are hard on ourselves.
Yes.
And for me to step back and look at the bigger picture and say, you know what, Rush, good job. As my compass,
Aw,
for
look
him
at
to say,
Grandpa.
yeah, I'm proud of you and you're on the
Aw.
right track between
You see,
him and
though,
God.
even though there were people who told him that they were even though there were people who told him that they were disappointed in him, he's a disappointment, God always put that one person. Sometimes it's not even 5 people. You know what I mean? God always placed that one person in your life who is going to cheer you on. At least one, because he knows how hard it is, and he knows the high esteem that sometimes we hold other people's opinions of us in. And he sends somebody to remind us to focus and to know that you're doing the right thing. And I am proud of you, and I'm cheering you on. I might not understand what you're doing, and it's a completely new world to me, foreign world, but the fact that you think it's good for you, I applaud that, and I'm going to support you in whatever. God always put that one person in your life.
And God talking to me through him, and God talking to me in the nights. I say, yeah, man, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed
See there.
Also, wait,
See
one
there.
last thing. I actually know that if I wasn't on the right track, I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Give yourself a chance. One last chance. Give yourself a chance. We're
And
talking
make
about
it
life
good.
or death. You do not have a chance
Yes,
if you're not alive. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance.
I love that.
If it is, just imagine your life at its best.
Wow, I love that. That was beautiful. Just imagine your life at at its best. And it makes me think of my great friend Ricardo Barnett. Ricardo, I love you dearly, and I hope that you are watching this. He said, Colette, life I go try stop you, and sometimes life I stop with, or that's how we feel, right? That's our perspective. And he went on to say, but we have to see where to try stop we from. What is the rainbow and the goodness and the happiness and the joy and the success where this force I try stop we from? And don't you want to see? Don't you want to see it? It's worth it to push through. So I love that. Imagine your life at its best, and I'm gonna carry that with me. Your Beauty in the Ashes, Rushcam Campbell, on matters of health, mental health, and overcoming depression. So I just finished watching it. Oh wait, let me stop this recording. Yeah, I just completed it, and I'm not only happy that I watched it, but I'm happy that I shared me watching it with you, so that you could see how impactful it was on me. It was beautiful, it was heartfelt, it was everything that I thought it to be, or thought it would be. I'm happy for you too, Yendi. And Rushcam, I can't wait to consume more of your content. I really enjoy you. I enjoy your sincerity, your transparency, and I appreciate you even more, especially what you do, because of everything that you have been through and the work that you've put in yourself. You've invested in yourself. You've given yourself a chance. Alright guys, so it has certainly been a pleasure sharing this with you. I feel like I'm gonna do more. What do you think? Would you guys like to see me do more live reviews on content like this? Please share it in the comment. If you did in fact like this video, then show that. Hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're watching for the first time and you're still watching. Thank you so much. I love you for that. Then subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet, and thank you for watching again. I appreciate you, and take care. Right, so I'm pack up my things and go, as Rushcam would have said. After 2, 1, 2, pack up.